Okay, well, let's see if this works. I made some changes here, and I am not certain that this will work. So, of course, this is typical figure it out as you go. So I do have an unboxing, but I want to make sure you can hear me, or it's not going to do any good. So we'll just wait here a little second, see if somebody shows up and they can give me kind of a test thing. I tried to try it on my own, but it didn't quite get there. So anyhow, so we've got the 2-camera thing going on now. We've got we got our little logo there in the corner. We're trying to give that a shot as well. Like I said, hopefully each stream that we do is better than the previous one. That's the only way to move forward. And again, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me at all. I'm going to go right and type a message. Let me know if you can hear me. And yeah, so I've got a new mic, but I'm not sure if it's connected properly. Because I tried doing a test run, but I'm not sure if that's working out okay or not. So hopefully, once we get the sound correct, we can go ahead and move forward. But I'm going to need your guys' help on that. I see that the microphone's there on the sound mixer, but I'm not sure that if I'm getting the correct configuration. I tried to play it back on my own, and I couldn't get any sounds at all to come in. You can hear me. There's an echo, though. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. Let me tinker with this. Let's go ahead and Let's go ahead and close this and close this. And now let me know if you can hear me. And it should be a little bit better. I shut everything off except the microphone. So the one mic. I ordered a mic. It came in the mail. It wasn't cheap, but it doesn't matter, as long as it works. So let me know, and then we can get started if that's the case. So there's a way to start these. There's a way to start these feeds and do them privately. And I tried to do that and then listen to myself. But no matter what I did, I couldn't hear any sound coming through. Maybe sound isn't enabled. I'm not sure. So let me know if that fixed the situation. I'm very quiet now. All right. Well, we'll get this right eventually. It should be a good microphone. Let's tinker with this. I'm quiet now. Well, that's funny because I'm never quiet. All right, how about that? Is that a little bit better? And eventually it'll keep the settings so we can have the same thing on there each time we show up, and it won't tinker. It will not change it any. So, yeah, I guess I have to say something. So I did get an unboxing. This is something I've kind of waited. It's going to be kind of exciting. Assuming I got the right thing, because of course last time I got the wrong thing at the unboxing, but with a live unboxing you never know what it is that you're going to get. But this is from a supplier. You guys would be pretty interested in seeing what it is. I found this by chance on the internet. That's way better. Okay, good. Then I can check out the video. It looked like I might have the sound set too high, and we don't want that. I spared no expenses. If I was going to get a microphone, I was going to get a good one. So I got what they call a Blue Yeti, a Nano. It's the small one, which it's honestly pretty massive. So I'd hate to see what the really big one is. But anyhow, I didn't want to get a cheap microphone and then end up throwing money away and it not be a good display. So now we got a microphone, and hopefully this sounds better than what you've heard me in the past on my phone, because in the past it was just the phone mic coming through. Okay, and then we've got this other video here on this screen right here that hopefully it is not mirrored, because that's what I found out yesterday. After I shot the video, my left hand was where my right hand was, and vice versa. But anyways, okay, we can go ahead and get started now. And the rest of you can just catch later. Thanks for your input, Ben. I appreciate it. So this is an unboxing that I got the other day, and just like that, I have an interruption. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Let's see if I can't botch. Hopefully, I don't botch this thing up. That's the problem when you do not live alone. Is you. Let me just send this text. I may have to just go and get a camera, because using a phone to film, even though my phone is awesome, if I get a text or a phone call or anything like that, you know, it's no good. So just a little bit of delay. Sorry about that. I really don't want to buy a camera. They're awfully expensive. And I already have this phone, but anyhow, the girls are going out of town on Sunday, so we'll have a good, nice filming session on Sunday. Now I got to figure out how to get back to where I was. I think that did it. Okay, sorry about that. Video is still mirrored. How about now? It's mirrored on my phone here, but maybe it's not mirrored on the other one. Yeah, we don't want the mirrored thing. Okay, so what I have to do is, on my display, I need to see it mirrored, so that over here it is not. It should be unmirrored now. Yeah, I don't want people to get the idea that I'm left-handed, because I am about useless with my left hand. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ben, so much. Playing recon for me. Okay, so this is something that I had found for my Papal army. I was kind of surfing around, and I just happened to find this, and it was by the same people that made the other stuff from Dungeon Torch. And if you remember, I did an unboxing video about a month ago. I'm going to say it was a month ago. And they sent me this stuff right here. It's right way around now. Okay, so I just have to remember that it needs to look backwards on my phone, because I've got the backwards facing camera. Okay, or I can just look up here in the corner where it's correct. All right, so I got this about 3 weeks ago from Dungeon Torch. If you guys didn't watch that unboxing, it's on there. And now that we've got a good sound, the sound quality's got to be... Julian, welcome. The sound quality's got to be better than what you guys were getting before. Tell me it is. Make me feel good. This is these 3D printed guys that came in, and this is for my Vlad the Impaler army. This is by a company called Dungeon Torch. I believe you can find them on Etsy. Okay, and they make 3D printed stuff, and they make 3D printed things like this. So I was searching for something for my Papal army. I knew what I wanted. I was going to custom make it myself. And then I found out that these same people make exactly what I was looking for. Now, hopefully, I'm happy with what it looks like. But I don't know. The last time I did an unboxing 2 days ago, I was really disappointed with what I got. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. It shipped really, really fast, by the way. It took them maybe a couple weeks to make it, and then ship really, really fast. Let's see what they got here. Okay. Well, they spelled my last name right. That's good. Okay. That's always a plus. Well, I guess that's it. Okay. And it comes in, I guess if you get something from Dungeon Torch, it comes in these bags. Now let's hope this is the right scale, because they make things in all kinds of different scales, and I really don't want this to be in 28 millimeter. And it looks kind of big for what it is. So this isn't something that's this is something that I was going to make myself, and then I noticed that these guys make something a lot better than I ever could make. Oh, multiple bags. Lovely. Okay, well, we don't want this stuff. This is what we're looking for. A papal chair. And that's actually not the one I want to use. Where is it? I mean, it could work. There's one that's a little... Or is it this one? No, there's one that's a little fancier. Maybe it's in this little box. And they make all kinds of stuff. Pews, and they look to be the right... A lectern. The only reason I know this is what it's called is from playing lots of Diablo. Open the lectern, see what's in there. Yeah. I want a little chair for him. Now, he won't be sitting on it. He will be in front of it. And that's what's going to be the centerpiece of... Geez. I can paint things. I just can't unlock something. I don't know why these are separate. Okay, this is exactly the one I wanted. I wanted the fanciest one. Although this one would work just fine. Okay. But, yeah, it's got lots of detail on it. There we go. This one could have worked in a pinch. But, so this is a set of a bunch of different things here. And let's put a figure here for... They look pretty, honestly, they look pretty darn big for 15 millimeter. But, you know, if I have 20 millimeter figures and they're too small for 20 millimeter, it's obvious. So, yeah, definitely for 15. So, this one is going to be the centerpiece of that army. Let's grab a 40 by 40 stand. Okay, so what the plan is going to be here, and it's really easy for me to get distracted by two cameras, so I'm going to try to just pay attention to this one that's right here in front of me. There we go. All right, so we're going to have 4 guards. This is going to be a crowded stand, but I knew that already. We're going to have 4 guards. Okay, they're each going to be on one of the corners. Where's the 4th one? Okay. There's going to be one on each one of these corners facing forward. Then there's going to be a little rug or a mat or whatever that he's going to sit on because he doesn't want to get his little feet dirty. Okay, but he's going to be standing in front of this, along with the kneeling figure. Okay, so we'll have to work this. He's like a monk or something like that. The papal potty chair. Yeah, exactly. Well, so a lot of this is like the Pope carried on a litter. Well, the problem is as soon as you introduce being carried on a litter, the problem you have is now you have to have a litter and litter bearers that are the correct look. And they don't make the correct look litter bearers. I have to do a lot of major conversion. And it's going to be really big, which isn't going to fit on a 40 by 40 stand. I'll have to make it 40 by 80. And if you haven't listened to me before going on my rant, not really a rant, but saying why I don't want it to be on that larger stand is it's just really weird. In DBA, things that are on a 40 by 80 stand behave weird. You can't, even though it's 80 millimeters long, you can't get 2 units to contact. That just all kinds of weirdisms that happen. Okay, so I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to do a 40 by 40. So I'm like, and then there's many figures I can do for the Pope, which, by the way, we finished green stuffing the guy, okay? And we finished him this morning, and this is what we have now. So this is our figure that we converted. And let's see, can we get a little closer than that? Yeah, I am still a massive noob when it comes to this green stuff. And I'll tell you one thing I really don't like about it. I don't like about it. The thing I don't like about green stuff is you have to build it in sections. I can't just do the whole thing because in the process of pressing something down, I end up squishing something else. So that's the only part that I really didn't like about it. So this I literally had to build in 3 different sections or four different times. You know, I had to do the hat, make sure the hat's hardened because as I'm working his robes, I don't want to like accidentally touch the hat a little bit and then it gets misshapen. So you got to wait for the hat to get hard, which is just overnight or whatever. And then I had to do his robes, and then I had to wait for that to harden before I put the little thing that goes around his neck, a little cloth, and it's going to have little crosses and stuff like that. He looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with him. Even though he looks a little, maybe a little lame, painting is where my talent is, so I'm sure we'll be able to do that. I'm not going to be a sculptor anytime soon, so this is not bad for a noob sculpt. And it is, I just modified a figure underneath. And it is a lot better than the other stuff that I did before, which is just to modify a turban, add a turban on a figure. So this is definitely a step up in difficulty. So he's going to be standing in front of this, okay? And we just glued him down because we didn't want to touch this stuff. I think we could pop his ass off and just see what kind of height we're looking at here. Maybe we don't need to. Let's not get too bold. I'm probably going to end up having to glue him back on. Let's see what kind of height we're looking at. He's going to be standing right in front of his chair. Okay, which somebody carries it, but the people that carry it are not on the stand because they're not there for defense. Okay, so we've got a guy on each corner. Him standing here. We've got a guy kneeling here or something like that. We've got his assistant dude, which is going to be off here to the side towards the back, and we're going to have a papal banner on here. And I think that's pretty good. There's not going to be a whole lot of space. There'll be just enough space for him to stand up here, you know, giving his blessing or, you know, or telling everybody where they can go, you know, wherever. But I think this will be a nice litter stand. Okay, so is the sound quality good? Please tell me the sound quality is good. I'd hate to spend $100 on. It was $80 and it not work. You know, I don't like throwing money at a problem. You know, if you have a problem like the sound quality is good, you end up. And this set has a lot of other little things. Look at this. Is this a? I guess this is. I don't know whether this is a crypt or an altar. That's pretty cool. We can work this into something else. Anyhow, so this set, it's available from Dungeon, what do we call them? Dungeon Torch. And let's not knock our own figures off. And it comes with all kinds of stuff. Now, it cost, I think with shipping it was like $19. Is that what it was? I have a receipt here. Not that I want my money back. Of course. $19.13. It was $10. Shipping was $7.88. And then tax on top of that. And, yeah. All right, so, a couple things we need to do. Sound quality is good, better than before. It better be. Yeah. Yeah, this is the small mic, and this thing is. Let's see if I can get it on the screen here. Well, I gotta switch screens here. Yeah, this is the small mic. So I can only imagine how big the large one is. It would look, you know. Anyhow. Okay. Well, we'll tinker with that. That'll be our starting point there for sound. All right. Let's get this where it needs to be. I think this is about where we had it. Still a total noob when it comes to this OBS stuff, but we'll get it. Hopefully we're getting better and better at it. I got a lot of tinkering I can do with it this weekend. I think Sunday is going to be not an all-nighter, but an all-dayer. All right. So, I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. So, but I wanted to try the microphone, test that, make sure that was working correctly. And then also look at you upping your game again. Yeah, well, you know, I don't mind spending the money as long as it works. I don't want to spend the money and then it adds frustration. When I first started doing these videos, I'm like, I'm going to do it until it becomes frustrating. And it's come close, but, you know, we can still keep going. All right, let's go ahead and take care of all of these things and put them back in the box. I don't know whether in the bag. I don't know whether we'll use them and if we will, when. I think I like this chair better than the pointy one. Where is the pointy one? They're like the same, they're like similar size. And only because the pointy one doesn't have a little knick-knack thing at the top, which I'm really not sure what that is. It almost looks like a little... Yeah. Anyhow, so I like the round one better. All right, so that's the one we're going to use. And okay, so this guy's nearly done. We were going to finish him based on what the Pope was going to look like. We didn't want him to look more popey than the Pope. All right, so put these spearmen back. We need to put this on something I can hold on to. And of course, I always need to find the stickum stuff. Blue tack, that's not blue. It would be called white tack. White. Okay. And a screw, and I know I've got more of these corks somewhere. Just who knows where the hell they are. Found them. I have a crap ton of them at work. But that doesn't do me any good here. We'll just take this building off of it. Hobby tack? I'm not sure what this stuff's called. It's just stuff for posters. Everybody uses this for all kinds of stuff. I need to remember to bring it with me when we're playing one of these war games, because it always seems like some terrain or something is off at a weird angle, and the figures won't sit right on it. So that would solve the problem altogether right there. Let's make this actually a little smaller. So anyhow, yeah, the live stream thing's working okay. Found another use for my computer and another use for my phone. I like doing that because you could justify the cost of those things sometimes. There's nothing worse than buying something and not getting your full use out of it. All right, let's get rid of these things here. And that. And this. All right, and we can go ahead and black base color him and his chair. Okay, because that's kind of a priority type thing. All right, so let's get the old... I know I'm going to make a mess. I'm just going in with... The design of the opening of this is just pitiful. Here, focus on this guy. All right. No, this is the part I need to use this for. So probably now that we've got this good quality stuff, this good quality video, there's probably going to be, and this is probably, some of you aren't going to like this, and it's just a fact of life. I put some thought into it. There's going to be, for the short term, a lot more of this and less gameplay videos. The problem is I'm kind of on a crunch to get this stuff done, and the gameplay videos are a pain in the butt to do. All right, I gotta come back because I gotta take my contacts out. I can't see anything. Be right back in about a minute. All right, let's try that again. Now that I can see by taking my eyes out, as I like to call it. All right. And now the inmates can run the asylum. Random comments that have nothing to do with the video. Anarchy. Cats sleeping with dogs. That's chaos. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like at work, except I'm not being paid. All right. Now that I don't have any, I can use my natural nearsightedness to paint this guy, which is funny because it wasn't until like 3 years ago. Let's make sure everything's in. If it wasn't until 3 years ago that I realized I've got to paint without contacts in, because I wasn't able to see things up close, which is really weird for somebody that's been nearsighted their entire life. Never did it occur to me that I could see magnified. I know that sounds weird to some of you, but I just thought my vision just needed to be corrected. I didn't realize I could actually use it as an advantage. So until about 3 years ago, I painted everything with contacts in 20/20 vision. So that whole magnifying glass really didn't, I don't know that it helped that much. You know, I basically painted everything with the naked eye, and it just never occurred to me. And it wasn't until I couldn't see things close up, which is really weird for somebody who's been nearsighted, you know, but now I've just taken my contacts out. And I got a built-in plus 575. Used to be 6.5, but. Okay, this guy may need a second coat. But there he is in his popeness. And of course, I can't see what you guys are writing there, so. Don't think these views and great comments are currency enough. You're able to pay your bills with the comments and upvotes on my videos. What? You must live under a bridge then. You don't have a lot of overhead. I have too much overhead. This is not a business for me. This is a way to interact with other folks and keeps me on track to complete things, because that's what I need. I've got lots to do and lots of things I could be doing instead of this. But this is therapy. So, you know, you do other things like watch TV or play video games. That's not necessarily therapy. It might be fun, but this is therapeutic. And you can see I did not primer this at all because I'm not one of those people. This will work as primer. there's some things I'll cut corners on, and that's one of them. I don't want to wash this in some kind of water, because what ends up happening is then I've got to dry it and then wait for it to dry, and no, I'm good. I've never washed other things before I did them. How's it saying go? Ain't nobody got time for that. Yep. I got too much overhead. Way too much overhead, so I guess you're being facetious. You van down by the river. You'd need about 1,000 times more views per video to make any money at this, which means it'll be a cold day in Florida before that happens. Hey, we have cold days, and those are good. I wish we could have a year full of them. Yeah, I'm having a problem trying to get any money out of it. I've got all this, I don't have a lot of it, but I have some amount in AdSense, and I got one payout, and I can't figure out how to, I've got this money in an account, and I can't figure out, and it says you put a hold on the account, and you can't contact anybody, and it's a bunch of, instead of AdSense, it's really nonsense, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not doing this for the money. It would just be nice to, take some of those funds and then use it for like a microphone. Have your viewing a little bit better quality. I don't want you guys to have not be able to understand me or what have you. All right, so we're going to let that. We're going to let that dry for a little bit. Yeah. Oh, I could get more viewers, but I have to do controversial stuff or go on rants or, this is about my hobby, and I've gotten a lot of free stuff from the internet. Whether it's ideas for working on a vehicle or painting or hobby stuff or entertainment off of YouTube, and this is my way of paying them back. Maybe I'll do something that somebody will find an interest in and not get frustrated and not keep them from going and playing Xbox games all the time. They can do something creative. I'm not a genius, but I've been at some of this for a while, so and I've gotten I gotten a lot of entertainment watching other people's YouTube videos, but yeah, I could do comedy or something like that, go on some kind of a rant, but yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in controversy. There's enough of it. Seriously, I also never even tried to find. Oh, it'd be nice up my game with microphones and cameras and hobby gear. Yeah, I don't think I've had a problem hearing any of your videos. They seem to be better than mine on the sound quality, but I'm just filming through a phone. I do not want to buy a camera. I do not want to get a camera. Because that's just a lot of money. And it's going to be a crappier quality than my phone, which can do 8K, and I already have the phone. So, never tried to get money. I didn't either. And then what happened is I wanted to do live, and live only allows you to do it if you have 1,000 subscribers. And 1,000 subscribers is when advertising and stuff like that kicks. I'm not interested in the money. It just kind of happened. It was like you either take it or you don't. And I don't know. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but, anyhow, yeah, I could get a lot more subscribers doing controversial stuff, but that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. So, anyhow, okay, so we got to wait for this guy to dry, unfortunately. So I stopped painting this guy because this is his assistant. Now, in a pinch, this could work as a pope for someone. If you don't want to sculpt something, this figure in a pinch could certainly work for him. Let's see if we can get a good look at him. And this is a figure from Essex. I believe they are called battle monks or monks with weapons or something like that. He had a huge mace that was taller than him. It was like an 8-foot mace. It must have been hollow, or there's no way he would have, after he swung and hit somebody, he's down for the count. You can't hold on to that thing. But anyhow, this guy in a pinch could work for a pope. He's got a little cross around his neck. He's got a little, I haven't painted it yet, but he's got a little cloak type thing. He could work for one in a pinch, but I did not want to have him look more pope-like than him. So I stopped painting him because I realized that, and I'm like, you know what? I better make sure I paint the pope and make sure this guy doesn't outshine him, because we can always dumb him down by making his cloak brown or, that kind of thing. We can certainly make him look more plain. Maybe not as plain as this guy, but something along the lines of that. So I figured I needed to go ahead and complete the pope, and we still are going to be short the crossbowman. So I have a feeling what's going to end up happening is it's weird seeing more than just your chin. Okay. Enjoy the weirdness. So on Sunday, I think the girls are going out of town. I'm going to have a really long extravaganza of painting. Saturday morning's out. We're going to do some saltwater therapy, so I won't be around for that, and we're leaving early. But on Sunday, we should have a long session. So my goal for this Sunday is get him completed, get everything on this stand completed, including the chair, including the little rug that it's going to sit on, which is going to be a pain because I've got to plan that. I've got to make it out of green stuff and wait for it to dry a little bit and then glue these things on. That's why I wanted this guy to have almost no stand at all, because he's going to be on the green stuff carpet standing. Now, the carpet's not going to be very big, but, it's going to be, about, let's see. And this is all planning, everything goes out the window when you gotta change tack. But we're probably gonna see, this is about that big. The carpet's probably gonna be along about that big. Something like that. So this will sit on the carpet, and he'll be standing on the carpet as well. And his shoes aren't visible, otherwise we'd give him little red shoes or something like that. Velvet shoes, fancy. And this will be on the stand. I don't know if I'm going to put it on a small rise, because if I do that, again, it's a lot of extra planning. I think it's going to be pretty easy to tell who the Pope is, because he's going to have this huge papal banner fluttering behind him anyways with this assistant. But that's what the plan is. So hopefully we can get that done by the weekend. If you watched the video the other day, I ended up doing an unboxing on supposedly my peasants and the crossbowmen. The crossbowmen were the ones I really needed badly. And what ended up happening was they sent me the wrong, instead of sending me code 57A, I got 67A. So to go back with my email to them, and I said, hey, listen, I didn't say you screwed up, because stuff happens, but hey, you sent me the wrong one. Don't bother giving me any money back. I'll keep these guys. I'm sure I can use them for something else. I'm going to go ahead and place the order for the 57A that I needed. Just send them to me as soon as you can. And no response back. So hopefully, you can't get a better customer than I'm not patting myself on the back, but I deal with customers all the time, okay, in my paying job. And, I'd have somebody that would be pissed at me if they said, hey, you sent me the wrong thing. I want you to send it back to me for free. Well, I just placed another order for something else. I'm fine paying for it. But anyhow, I'm sure they don't want to mail out one package, but at least I'm paying for the one package you're mailing out, Anyhow, and I don't want to. It's a cottage industry. I want them to stay in business because I'm going to buy other figures from C&B Miniatures again, and I know that this is probably not his day job, and so we'll see. Hopefully, within a week we'll get them, but it's probably going to be too late. So what I'm getting at is going around the neighborhood to get at this. I want to finish this stand up. And I'm probably going to have to change tack and go and work on the Amorites, because the Amorites I do need to get done by the end of September for the show. I don't have to get this army done. for that particular show. Yes, I could play it in different events, but that's the Amorites I have to get done for the other events. So I don't want this to continue dragging another 3 weeks, and then I don't have enough time to finish the Amorites or be rushed doing them, because the last thing I need is to be rushed about anything that is not work related for the next month or so, because work is out of control. It's so out of control, I'm not going on Monday to go game with Mitch. So we're just going to skip that. Because not only that is you have to be off by a certain amount of time to be able to make it there, and then have to pack all this stuff, unpack all these things. And then after you do that, run around, play the game. Now I've got videos to edit. So it's like I got enough on my plate right now. So the game videos are probably going to go, for the next month, going to go... be not as common. I'm not gonna do one every week. I got a lot of things to get done, and so there'll be more painting videos. So I know most of you won't like that. Most people like the gaming videos, but unless you want to take over and do my my normal job, that's what I've got to do to be able to stay focused, because I do not want to run out of time to get these things done. So. Anyhow, that's my long-winded way of saying what's going to be coming up. But are these guys dry yet? Jeez. Yeah, it's getting there. All right. The girls will be here in a minute. I don't know. How long have we been on here? Let's see. Is there a way to say that? Okay, not on that screen. How about... And this weekend, I think I figured out how to share my screen. So if you guys have any questions while doing a long one, saying, hey, I'm looking for banners for, like somebody was asking me about banners for the Danes or something like that. Or I was telling them about the Danes and how they make cool banners and so forth. And I didn't know how to share my screen. I literally had to take my camera around and show them that. We shouldn't have to do that anymore. I should be able to do something like, let me do this as a test run. This is kind of learning on the fly. So, hey, you're not paying anything for this broadcast. So if it looks like crap, well, I'm a noob doing it. Let's see. How do I do this? Let's add a screen. Oh, let's go here. Let's add a screen. Okay. And on this screen, I'm going to go to the page that I want to show. And if we do this correctly, I should be able to go into studio mode and put screen share here. Oh, window capture. No, I didn't do it right. I saw the video on it today. Let's remove. Yes. Let's add window capture. Which is the other one? Display capture. Well, I don't want that one. I want it to be this one. I don't know how to do it yet. If it messes up, I will give you one less comment. Well, the thing I can't understand, okay, you've done these videos, and I've watched these things. Well, people will switch to the desktop view, and it will show a window within another window within another window. I mean, what is causing that? I don't want that to be what it shows. I want it to be... I don't want that. Cancel. I don't want that either. Remove. Yes. Now let's add. Window capture. How does it know which window? Okay, well, I got the right one now. That's good. This is what I wanted to do. All right, so let's see if I can get away with doing this. Hold on, cancel. Capture cursor. Yeah, put the cursor on there. Okay, that'll work. Now, let's see. Can I do the entire screen? I don't know. Let's try this. Let's try this here. Only way I'm going to figure this out is failing miserably. So, all right, let's go ahead and transition. Let's move this up. All right, let's transition over. I would think it would just show exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, here's a website address. Here. To do that, instead. So, anyhow, that's my noob attempt. Okay. Anyhow, so let's do this. All right. Still learning how to do this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it is. There was no sound while I shared the screen. Okay, so I need to add the microphone on that one. Should be a lot user friendly than that. So on screen share, we're going to add a audio input capture. We're going to add the existing Blue Yeti Nano and Okay. All right, well, let's not fool around with that anymore. Enough talk. Let's close this. I could not see the comments while sharing the screen, no. No. Oh well, we'll figure it out. It's better than turning the camera around. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so that's what we have planned for the weekend. Okay? Now, we screwed around long enough. Is this guy dry? Yeah, we're going to call him dry. All right, let's start painting our Pope. Let's start painting the Pope. And of course, we want him to have a red gown, or whatever you want to call it. It's his nightgown. This will be fun. This will all be wooden colored, and then we'll have a the comfy chair with the this video stuff. I'm no good at them. I can only hold my own when it comes to painting stuff. Okay. The sound's got to be better though. It's got to be better than in the past. And hopefully you don't hear the fan, because I gotta have me my fan. All right, let's get over to red corner over here. And here's our thinner. And it's a shame I couldn't figure out how to do this before I had to take my contacts out. I wouldn't have to take my glasses on and off as I went. I guess I could look over them too, but. All right, let's grab some flat red. Why's it gotta be flat? I don't know. And we could use this one. And see how far we can get done before the girls show up. All right. So, got this going here. It's about as dark as I want to go. So, there's no point in painting these little, I'm not even sure what these things are that dangle off of him. Go around his neck, but those are going to be white. There's no point in painting those if we don't have to. Never painted this much green stuff before. Somebody sent me a link on, there was a particular pope that actually had his own crest of arms. He was Innocent IV. I believe that's who it was. And that's about the right time period for this guy to be. However, his crest of arms did not look like papal crest of arms. So they were blue and white with diagonal stripes, kind of like the 3rd U.S. Infantry Division and in World War II. And I think modern, they still use it or whatever. So it just doesn't look right. Regardless of whether it's correct, it just didn't look right to me. So that's one of those things, sometimes you just have to make a judgment call and go, that's just not how I am prepared to do that. And I've said that before, like, I'm a World War II painter, and I haven't painted that stuff in a long time, but there's some things that I'm just not really willing to do. One of them is paint those little air recognition symbols that are the white stars on like British vehicles. I don't care if they used them, it just looks wrong. They're a British vehicle. Why can't they have their own roundels or something like that? I think it dilutes their participation too much. But that's just my own personal thing. So I would never do something like that. regardless of whether or not it's correct. So yeah, I don't want to use the supposed heraldry, and I use that loose, for this Pope when it doesn't look right. And I wanted to make kind of a generic type Pope. Yes, I want a Pope that's similar of that period, but it doesn't have to be anybody in particular, you know. So. The other nice thing about the stand is if I decide to do the Knight General, which I probably will at some point, the whole point of building this army is really to use the litter to see how that kind of works. Is I can use this stand then as the baggage element in collision course. So there's a double use for that. All right, let's add a little bit more red. I don't remember which one of these I was mixing. I was realizing that. I'm like, was it this one or this one? It doesn't really matter. They're kind of in the same starting point. And this is a gown or robe that doesn't have a ton of folds on it, nor does it need to, so I don't need to focus a whole lot on these darker parts of it. He's not going to be a figure that's got a very dirty gown. I mean, this guy is like sits around, doesn't do anything, so, you know, he just decided to show up on the battlefield and want to make sure everything was still all right. Now, there's a couple of instances where the Pope actually went into battle. One of them was in 1053. Of course, they're a lot earlier period than the one I'm modeling, but fighting the Normans, and the Normans captured his butt. So that didn't go too well for him. They didn't do anything to him. They ended up being respectful, and after that, they kind of got along for the most part. They still had some disagreements from time to time, but the popes were very anti-Normans until they kind of got this little thing going on for a while, and then they were kind of on the same side for a little while, and they would change sides. It was just, it's a mess. But you know, they didn't do anything like execute the Pope or anything. Just finished reading a book on the Normans, or having a book read to me on the Normans, and went into that in pretty good detail. But 1053 was one of the incidents when they went into battle, and then it happened a couple of other times. They never showed up at the battlefield and like really kicked butt. You know, it was kind of like they showed up and things just kind of went south. So, you know, maybe that's telling you something. But want to do that for the litter element and just see what kind of interesting things can happen with that. It's a strange thing. It fights as a blade, but it can't go into combat, and all kinds of other things. Has some interesting nuances to it. But all this new video stuff is possible because we finally got a cable modem. Came from the 19th century into the 20th. We've been on DSL for 20 years, and it's never gotten better. But yet everything's become more demanding, so it's got to the point where it was worthless. So I was streaming on my phone through a mobile connection, which I have an excellent mobile connection. But YouTube determines, oh, because you have a mobile connection at all, you're maxed out at 720p. So that's 720p is pretty poor for this kind of stuff that we're doing. So thank goodness we're done with that part. So now we can do some better quality videos for you guys to kind of follow along. All right. Now, the next thing I need to do with all the things I figured out how to do on YouTube is go watch a video, and I haven't even looked at this. I'm sure there's one out there. I need to find out how to oil this damn chair I'm on, because if I shift a little bit, well, now it doesn't want to do it. It likes to creak and bitch a lot, and you know, I'm well below the weight capacity of this thing. So that's not the thing. The thing is it needs to be lubricated in certain points. I don't know exactly where it is. So maybe somebody out there decided there's videos about everything out there. So there's a lubrication points on a chair. I got to be careful how I type that in, or I may get videos that I'm not really looking for. But yeah, I turned this thing upside down trying to figure out where it was, and I didn't want to coat everything with a bunch of oil that was going to drip out later, or what's that stuff, that graphite, I've got like the spray graphite stuff that's really, really good. It's not WD-40 or anything like that, but which really isn't a lubricant, it's a water displacer, but or so I've been told. But yeah, I got to do that so you guys don't hear all this creaking and bitching and when I'm shifting from side to side. Well, now it's not doing it so much. Okay, well, maybe just needed to talk about a problem and it would just iron itself out. It was really bad the other day, so. So I don't mind if whatever process I'm doing takes a long time, as long as you're moving forward. You're accomplishing something. It keeps, you build upon it. Whatever. So yeah, there's probably quicker ways to paint this. They probably wouldn't be satisfying to me, but but what I'm doing, is it's foolproof from the standpoint that if I somehow mess it up, it's easy to go back and fix it. And, every time I go and put another layer of this paint, it looks better than the previous one before. So as long as you're moving in that direction, I don't mind things like this taking a long time. When I'm tinkering for 3 hours trying to get a microphone to work or something like that, and I'm getting nowhere, yeah, I don't enjoy that at all. Somebody else can do that. So everybody has a different kind of patience for different things. I don't mind, this taking a while. It's just part of the procedure. As some people like to say, it is what it is. My wife says she hates that saying. Okay. We need to switch to a smaller brush. All right, anybody comment or anything? Or are you guys just aghast with the fact that you could hear me? Nope. Okay. That's all right. You guys are probably working on your hobbies, which is what I usually do on all these videos anyways. Started a new audiobook a couple days ago. I've got so many credits that I need to use them up. And the second one of the same series was Bill O'Reilly's book on killing Reagan. I really enjoyed that. So I decided to start the Killing Patton one. And I'm not digging it too much because I don't know if he ends up narrating the whole thing, but I'm a World War II junkie, okay? I know I've said this before, but, I just can't stand when somebody says cavalry instead of cavalry. And it just drives me up the freaking wall. And what was the other thing that he said? He was talking about the main gun on a Sherman, on a Sherman tank, and he didn't call it a 75 millimeter. He called it a 75 mm. You never say that. You obviously don't know what the hell you're talking about. So those two things kind of got to me, but I'm going to stick with it because I do enjoy those. I do enjoy the one killing book that I did, and I know that there's several of them. I just decided to do this one because Patton, of course, is an interesting character, and so. But yeah, 75. What kind of gun is that? It's a 75 mm. What? For you, those of you that are World War II nuts like me, the support weapon that in the U.S. Army that was integral to the squad, made by Browning, right? It actually came out, I believe, in World War One. It's magazine fed. It's a 20 round magazine. It's a squad weapon. I believe sometimes U.S. squads maybe even had two of them. It's called a Browning automatic rifle, and it's abbreviated in 3 letters. Never have I heard someone call it a bar, ever. It's in the book. Always referred to a BAR. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Hey, we're all anal retentive in our own little ways. Never heard it called a bar. Go grab that bar. That's a BAR, pal. Browning automatic rifle. This is why I don't game World War II stuff. I'm super anal retentive about that stuff. Have a hard time playing World War II games. World War II video games, really hard time playing them. There is one that is an oldie that I absolutely love, even to this day. It does a lot of things really well, and it's that whole series called Close Combat. I love it. It's wonderful. And I did have a chance of playing my buddy a long time ago with it head to head, and it's a hoot. You end up doing really crazy stuff that happens, and there's hidden movement, and you guys don't listen to you sometimes, and they scream and call for a medic, and really cool game. Played it a lot. So, if I don't do any more World War II miniatures games, I've done many of them. That's all I used to do. And, there's always video games that could scratch that World War II itch. But not every video game, because I did try that, what was it? Is it Men of War or something like that? Some free demo that I got. It looked great, but I'm like, holy crap. 2 Germans walk into a bar. That's right. Scheisse! Yep. That's how you use bar, but never heard it called that. So like I said, we'll have an extravaganza painting session on Sunday. We'll get to hang out all day. I think I may have to mow at some point if the rain ever lets up. Now we're back to it raining every single day for, I don't know. I'd have just paved the yard. Just be done with it. This whole nonsense of only being able to, you can't mow if it's wet and it rains every day, and at least the grass is healthy. I'm not going to pay anybody to do it. I've said before, I used to mow lawns. I'd mow my own lawn as a kid and I'd get $5. Okay, for inflation, I'll pay you double, $10. No, people want like $50 or $100 to mow your lawn. Well, you're not getting it from me, What about ASL? Do you like it? I used to play it in the mid-90s. I'd never play it now. I still like it. The thing I don't like about I dislike the most about ASL is, after playing other games, is I don't like the turn structure. It's too predictable, and it's not very involved for both people. Like, for instance, let's say it's my turn first. What do we do first? Rally phase. Okay, well, both people can do stuff there. But then it's the prep fire phase. So I decide everybody who shoots, and the other guy just sits there and takes it. And then, the movement phase, I'm doing stuff. And if I move kind of in cover, then they get to do opportunity fire. And then they get to do defensive fire. It's just too structured. So I do like the game. I like the scale that it is. I think the vehicle combat has enough detail in it, surprisingly enough. I just don't like how predictable the turn sequence is for this day and age. I think that lock and load it does better because it's you do one thing, I do one thing, or you can pass kind of thing. I think that's a little bit more immersive instead of waiting until you do like 6 or 8 or 12 things before I get a turn to do one thing. I prefer the back and forth a little bit better. Now, with that said, one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life was an advanced squad leader game that was double blind. A friend of mine ran it, and I had a set of boards with my forces, and the other guy had a set of boards, their forces. He didn't play scenarios. This guy made some scenarios up. And you never saw the other guy's elements. So on my board, if something moved, he would grab a concealment counter. He'd move it around and said, hey, you see troops here, or a lot of troops, or, if you receive fire, either rifle fire, or rifle and machine gun fire, or heavy machine gun fire, you never actually saw the enemy counters on your board until you moved into the exact same hex with them, which obviously doesn't happen that often. Or, you picked up a support weapon and captured it or something like that. So that was really cool. It was almost like a role-playing game, so to speak. And you ended up finding yourself doing things that you would do in real life that wouldn't necessarily... Here we go. I think we got this thing creaking, right? Yeah, we got to solve that. It's like a pirate ship with no pirate ship. But I digress. So, one of the best games I ever played, but it takes somebody else running the game to make it happen. And I've played, I think, 3 of those. 3 of them. And you end up doing things that you would do in real life. Like, for instance, maybe your mission is to take your squads from this part of the board and go all the way across and get off the other end. Well, you might see a hill over there in the distance, so you send some of your squads up there to climb it just so you get more information and maybe see where the enemy is. It was really cool. It was really cool. And this was probably 1995, 1996 when I played it, when I played that particular game. But I played a fair amount of it. I like the scale that the game is, but it just takes too long to play, and it's not conducive to what I'm doing these days. And I sold them all. I remember that one of the first, probably in the early 2000s, what did I have? I had a copy of the desert one. Is it called West of Alamein? I think that's what it is. And some guy in Spain bought it for like $200. And it was like $100. No, I forget what it was, but it was like $100 shipping. It was super, super, super expensive because it was so heavy, And I didn't make any money on the shipping. It was that's just what it was. So, yeah. Had some good times with it, but it's just one of those things where you realize I'm never going to play it again. Now, it would be cool to play, say, with Mitch, something like that, but, I've tried other games. The Lock and Load Tactical is not bad on computer. The multiplayer on it, last time I tried it, was still broken. Things get out of sync, unfortunately, and, I'm just like, I don't want to go and try to play a game and it doesn't work. That's, like, frustrating for me. I'd rather just paint. What else? I've tried Combat Commander that people love. I detest the fact that Combat Commander, you do not roll dice. I detest it. Maybe there's some die rolls, but when you actually shoot at somebody, you pull cards. And I just don't think that you get a good shuffle on the cards. I understand why it's done. And what I don't like about card pulls is, if you've ever played Combat Commander, and I've played it I think 3 times. And somebody that knew how to play it. I think Mitch and I played it. We were at a con, and it was like, hey, play Combat Commander with Mitch, and I'll show you guys how to play it. And they ran the game, so we just had to be there and make decisions. And you pull a card, and depending on what it is, you either do the action or you use the numbers towards the bottom. So if it's like a fire effect, you use the numbers toward the bottom. And if it's something that you end up playing the card as the card, you use the top of the parts of the top. But what I really didn't like is you may pull a really cool card, but you end up using it for the numbers. So it's like you don't get to do Stuka attack. You get to use the numbers at the bottom, and then that card's gone. So it's kind of like a tease and have the rug pulled out from under you. I could play it if I had to, but it's just not my cup of tea, And a lot of people gripe that the game has no vehicles. I think that's fine with it not having vehicles. It's kind of zoomed in. I don't know that it was superior to ASL in my experience of it. So... But I don't want to play those board games anymore because I just don't have the stomach to play them wrong anymore. Board games that are chip games, the people that made, other than the issue with the multiplayer where they get out of sync, maybe that's fixed now. I don't know. I need to give it a rest and have some time for them to work out the bugs. But I think that's a great translation onto the computer screen because, first of all, it looks great. I don't mind board games that are two-dimensional as long as the board looks good and the counters look good, and those games have a good-looking setup. I'm going to wait until the what is that? Don't tell me I got a crack in my glasses. No, we'll leave that alone. I'm really careful with these things. These things are expensive. And I bought El Cheapo frames too. Yeah, it's a good game. That's a good game. I tried to play it with a couple of people that I know in real life, the Lock and Load Tactical, and I figured we could, just talk through Facebook Messenger or something like that while we played. And I tried it like 6 times in the span of maybe 3 months. Last year, and it was like fail, and that's really frustrating when you say, okay, leave me alone for a while, wife, because I'm gonna go play this game, and then you can't connect and it doesn't work, and you come back like upset that all that happened. So and I think this is the time to shut it down because the people are back. Hello. All right. Well, that's it. This was a trial run here with the microphone and everything, and hopefully you guys got a better sound quality. And we'll do it again for sure on Sunday. But until next time, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys next time. Yes, it's a microphone. You like it? That's the small one. They had one that was huge. Yes, your fingers are on the... Yeah, testing. Okay. See you guys next time. And thanks for stopping by.